I'm a firm believer that you don't need a lot of lights. I think that for most filmmakers in most situations, having one big, bright, bicolor key light is enough. I think that the only other light that you need is what I call an extra light. It's kind of a Swiss Army knife in your kit. It can serve as a fill light, an edge light, a little wash of color, or 100 other things. I've vacillated between many different lights for this. For a while, I thought that I could do it with this little aperture pocket light, but it's only one color temperature, and even though it is small and it can be really useful, it just doesn't do it for me. I had bought this aperture panel back in 2015, and even though it served me really well over many years, I ended up selling it because it just wasn't as flexible as I wanted it to be. It wasn't really bright enough to be a key, and it was a little bit too unwieldy to be a good run and gun extra light. Tube lights can be really good. I have this Viltrox tube light, which is RGB, which is a huge plus, but it's not really that bright, and it can be a little bit difficult to modify. That's why I've been really interested in what Zhiyun's been doing over in their laboratories. They're essentially taking big, powerful key lights and shrinking them down into a form factor that makes them kind of perfect for run and gun filmmaking. They sent me this X60 to check out, and I kind of feel like it's maybe the perfect extra light. I've had one of their Molus X100s for a while, and I've always thought that it's one of the most useful lights that I own. And I bought it with my own money in case you just think I'm a shill for Zhiyun. But it's not RGB, and I didn't have the battery, so I had to jerry-rig this V-mount solution, which actually worked really well, but wasn't ideal. But when it comes to a versatile, powerful Swiss Army knife, I've got a hard time being able to imagine something more useful than the X60. It's tiny. When you take off the battery and the reflector, this is it. This is a 60-watt light. I really feel like we take it for granted how small and powerful lights have gotten, but I just need to take a step back and just be like, this is a light. I do feel like the battery pack is what makes this the perfect run and gun Swiss Army knife light. You can easily throw this on a stand and add some fill to a scene, or throw a little wash of light into the background. I wouldn't normally use this as a key light, but in a pinch you definitely could. In this shot, I pushed one through a scrim gym, and as you can see, it does give a nice soft light. And the brightness isn't even at 100% here, so it is more than powerful enough to fully light your subject. But where I feel that this light really shines is its portability mixed with its RGB capabilities. You can throw this on a C-stand and emulate a street light, or use it to shoot in a car at night, or any other situation where you need a small, powerful light on the go, because this whole thing can easily fit into a backpack. I don't know why you would ever do this, but if you take the battery and reflector off, it can actually fit into your pocket. Which, again, I feel like I need to remind myself, this is a 60-watt light. It really allows you to work quickly and efficiently. In the shoots that I've used it on, it just kind of seamlessly blends into my workflow, which is ideally what you want from your gear. Over the years, I've had a lot of really cool gear come and go through my kit. You know that light or that modifier you have that's great, but it's just kind of a pain in the ass to use, so you think twice before breaking it out. I sort of feel that way about something like a big softbox with a grid. It's like just annoying enough to not want to build it all the time. But something like this light takes all of those excuses away. It can be annoying to run power to a light, but this has a battery built in. It can be cumbersome to boom a light way out over talent, but this weighs next to nothing. If you're shooting on location without a permit, you're not gonna wanna make a huge setup and call attention to yourself. But with something like this, you can set it up in less than a minute, get your shot, and get out of there before anyone even knew you were there. I really don't like to advocate for people to buy more stuff that they maybe don't need. But what I've been doing a lot lately is consolidating my gear down. So I recently sold a few LED lights and just got one Aperture 300C. I sold a bunch of lavs and external recorders and whittled it all down to just using Rode VideoMic Pros. And that's what I think that this light could do. I could easily see myself selling all of these little knick-knack LEDs that I've got and just using this for all those purposes. As my go-to rim light, as an RGB background light, as my run and gun light. I really think that this could replace 4 or 5 lights that I own, which is kind of exciting. I'm super excited to see what else Zhiyun makes in the future because I honestly really can't imagine lights getting any smaller than this. So where do you even go from here? Let me know down in the comments what you use for your Swiss Army knife light. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.